Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're diving into the wild world of Donald J. Trump. This is a journey that spans decades, filled with ambition, controversy, and a relentless drive for success. This isn't your average political tale. It's a saga that defies expectations and breaks all the rules. It's a story that reads like a reality show, complete with dramatic twists, larger-than-life characters, and enough controversy to fuel 1,000 news cycles. From boardrooms to the Oval Office, Trump's life has been a spectacle. Buckle up, Buttercup, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. We're talking about a man who has never shied away from the spotlight, who thrives on attention and controversy. From his early days in the concrete jungle of Queens, New York, to the gilded halls of the White House, Trump's life has been anything but ordinary. Growing up in a family of real estate developers, he was destined for greatness, or at least for making headlines. He's a real estate mogul, a reality TV star, and, of course, the 45th, and now 47th, President of the United States. His ventures have spanned from skyscrapers to television screens and finally to the highest office in the land. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Donald Trump is a force to be reckoned with. His influence extends far beyond politics, impacting culture, media, and business. He's an American original, a true one-off, and his journey is nothing short of extraordinary. His policies, his tweets, his public persona, all have left an indelible mark on the fabric of American society. So sit back, relax, and let's unravel the enigma that is Donald J. Trump. From his triumphs to his trials, his story is a testament to the unpredictable nature of American life and politics. Donald John Trump entered this world on June 14, 1946, in the New York City borough of Queens. Born into a wealthy family, real estate was in his blood. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful developer, and Donald was expected to follow in his footsteps. Young Donald attended the New York Military Academy, where his competitive spirit and, let's say, strong personality quickly became apparent. After a stint at Fordham University, he transferred to the prestigious Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, graduating with a degree in economics. With his education complete, it was time for Donald to make his mark on the world. And boy did he ever. Armed with a hefty loan from his father, a small loan of $1 million, as Trump famously called it, Donald dove headfirst into the world of Manhattan real estate. He quickly developed a reputation as a shrewd, albeit aggressive, negotiator. He wasn't afraid to take risks, and his name soon became synonymous with luxury hotels, towering skyscrapers, and opulent casinos. Trump's business ventures weren't always smooth sailing. He filed for bankruptcy multiple times, a fact that his opponents would later use against him. But through it all, Trump always managed to come out on top, or at least, that's how he tells it. He expanded his empire beyond real estate, slapping his name on everything from steaks and vodka to airlines and a football team. Trump was a master of branding, and his name became a symbol of wealth, success, and, well, Trumpness. In the early 2000s, Trump took a detour into the world of reality television. He became the host of The Apprentice, a show where aspiring entrepreneurs competed for a chance to work for him. Trump's catchphrase, "You're fired," became a national sensation. The Apprentice was a massive hit, catapulting Trump to a new level of fame. He was no longer just a businessman, he was a bona fide celebrity. He hosted Saturday Night Live, made countless cameos in movies and TV shows, and even had his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Trump had successfully conquered the entertainment industry, proving that he could charm audiences just as easily as he could negotiate a business deal. Section 5. Trump enters the political arena, a surprise twist. For years, Trump flirted with the idea of running for president. He even briefly ran as a Reform Party candidate in 2000, but it wasn't until 2015 that he finally took the plunge, announcing his candidacy for the Republican nomination. Many dismissed his campaign as a publicity stunt. After all, this was a man who had built his career on self-promotion and outlandish statements. But Trump, with his signature bluster and populist message, tapped into a vein of anger and frustration among a segment of the American electorate. His promises to make America great again resonated with voters who felt left behind by globalization and ignored by the political establishment. Section 6. Making America Great Again, the 2016 election. The 2016 presidential election was unlike any other in recent history. It was a brutal, divisive campaign with Trump facing off against Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Trump, the political outsider, campaigned on a platform of economic nationalism, immigration restriction, and an America First foreign policy. Despite trailing in most polls, Trump pulled off a stunning upset, defying expectations and sending shockwaves through the political establishment. His victory was fueled by a combination of factors, including his appeal to working-class voters, Clinton's unpopularity, and possible Russian interference in the election. On January 20, 2017, Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. Section 7, the Trump presidency, a roller coaster ride. Trump's presidency was a whirlwind of controversy, policy changes, and Twitter tirades. From the moment he took office, his unconventional approach to leadership and communication set the tone for a tumultuous 4 years. His frequent use of social media, particularly Twitter, allowed him to bypass traditional media channels and speak directly to the American people, often sparking intense debates and reactions. He withdrew the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement and the Paris Agreement on climate change, signaling a shift towards a more isolationist and nationalist policy stance. These decisions were met with both praise and criticism, reflecting the deep divisions within the country. He appointed 2 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, solidifying a conservative majority that would influence American jurisprudence for decades. These appointments were highly contentious, leading to fierce confirmation battles in the Senate. And he signed into law a massive tax cut bill that disproportionately benefited corporations and wealthy Americans. This legislation was touted as a major achievement by his administration, though critics argued it exacerbated income inequality and ballooned the national deficit. Throughout his presidency, Trump faced constant criticism from Democrats and even some members of his own party. His confrontational style and unorthodox policies often put him at odds with the political establishment, leading to numerous clashes and controversies. He was accused of obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and emoluments violations. These allegations culminated in a historic impeachment process that further polarized the nation. He was impeached by the House of Representatives in 2019 for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, but he was acquitted by the Senate. This marked only the 3rd time in U.S. history that a president had been impeached, underscoring the unprecedented nature of his tenure. Despite the constant turmoil, Trump remained popular with his base, who appreciated his willingness to challenge the status quo and his tell-it-like-it-is style. His supporters saw him as a champion of their values and a disruptor of the political elite, ensuring his lasting impact on American politics. Section 8, back to the White House. Trump's 2024 victory. After losing the 2020 election to Joe Biden, Trump refused to concede, making unsubstantiated claims of widespread voter fraud. His allegations sparked a wave of controversy and division across the nation, with many of his supporters believing the election had been stolen. His supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, in an attempt to prevent Congress from certifying Biden's victory. The event, which became known as the January 6th insurrection, was a dark day in American history, showcasing the deep political rifts within the country. The insurrection resulted in 5 deaths and shook the foundations of American democracy. The aftermath saw increased security measures and a nationwide debate on the state of democracy and the influence of misinformation. Despite the controversy surrounding his departure from office, Trump remained a powerful force in Republican politics. His influence was undeniable as he continued to shape the party's direction and policies. He continued to hold rallies, endorse candidates, and spread misinformation about the 2020 election. His rallies drew massive crowds, and his endorsements often swayed the outcomes of Republican primaries. In 2024, Trump announced his candidacy for president once again, seeking to reclaim the White House. His announcement was met with both fervent support and intense opposition, highlighting the polarizing figure he had become. In a stunning turn of events, Trump emerged victorious in the 2024 election, defeating incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris. The election was closely watched, with high voter turnout and intense media coverage. His victory, while controversial, marked a stunning comeback for the former president. and cemented his status as one of the most consequential figures in modern American politics. The win was seen as a testament to his enduring influence and the loyalty of his base, setting the stage for a new chapter in American political history. Section 9. The Legacy of Donald J. Trump, a story for the ages. Donald J. Trump's story is one for the history books. He's a man who has defied expectations, broken all the rules, and left an indelible mark on American society. Love him or loathe him, there's no denying that he's a force of nature, a larger-than-life figure who has captivated the nation and the world. His presidency was a time of great division and upheaval. He challenged long-held norms, upended political conventions, and exposed deep fissures in American society. Only time will tell what Trump's ultimate legacy will be. But one thing is certain, his story is far from over. Donald J. Trump is back in the White House, and the world is watching to see what he does next.